Student, last video we have discussed about the political and the administrative setup made by the Chandragupta, Samudragupta and the Skandagupta. In this video we will discuss about the Gupta administration, which is given there in your book, page number 61. So this is what given here. Monarchy was the prevailing form of government during the Gupta period. The theory of divinity of king became the popular during his period. So what we come to understand, the king was considered as a divine representation of the god. So this is what here you need to understand regarding the system in which the kings were the important post which were given there. So monarchy form of, first of all, you should understand the Gupta administration was what form? The monarchic form of a government where complete authority was made by the king. Now theory of divinity is here also compared to the different gods such as Yama, Varun, Indra and Kuber. So the king was considered in just representation of these gods, that they are the form of these gods. Overall, as the Lord Vishnu, as the king, as the Lord Vishnu protect his all followers and the disciple and protect and preserve the people. So is the great king of the Gupta. These Gupta kings are what, like Lord Vishnu, who got this the duty to protect the people and the welfare of, to work for the welfare of the people. The next thing what you should understand, that a king enjoyed the political, administrative, military and judicial power. So when you will come to go to the chapter, you will see how a great control the king used to have regarding the political, administrative and the judicial power. So this is what given here. That the king enjoyed all the power related to the politics and the administration. The king was the commander in chief of the army, so they personally handled and led the army. So commander in chief, when we talk about, so this is the leader of the army. With the guidance of the king, the army work and act. So that is why this is called commander in chief, and he personally handle means he personally guided the army, how it should be, what type of people should be, and how the things set up should be there, the technology should be there. Number two, the king appointed all the governors and important military and the civil officers. So it was the charge of the duty, or you can say it was the area under the king, that it was the duty of the king to appoint all the governors and important military and civil officers. So all those high officials like military to take care of the under the king, who all will be the second appointed officers. So that was the duty of the king to appoint them. So that in a very simple language, all the higher officers were appointed by king. Number three, the governor officers worked under the strict guidelines. So all those officers who were working under the this council of ministers, so they had to work under whom? The king. So that is what given here. Number four, the king had a complete control over his state property. So all the land in the country was the property of the king. So as the Gupta empire, so the king considered the empire property as his property. So what would he feel regarding the property to give or to take, or to do some new thing with the property? He has that control and the right. So he was strong enough to improve his taxes, recover the wealth, give shelter, or to forgive another thing. So or to tackle the foreigners, or to give the shelter to the foreigners and all those things. So as he was a complete master of the Gupta empire, as a control over the property, he got enough power to make a new tax, or to recover the wealth from any person. Regarding that, he can seize the property, or he can give the shelter to any foreigners who have come to the Gupta empire. So this is what the power of the king which we are discussing. Then any property which has no owner, it went to king. So there is also given the things when some time that if there are the property where there is no ownership, so that property was taken by the state, and that was Gupta empire. So when you come to this the notes regarding that, the king had a pompous title. So the king also were known by Parmeshwara, Maharaja Dhiraj and Parambhadraka. These pompous title made the king very much like a show off as a dignity, powerful. That is why these titles were applied for the king. After the king, the Brahmanas played very important role. They were the chief custodians and interpreters of law and exercised check on the royal powers. So when I speak about this, so after the king, there were the Brahmanas, the priests who were appointed in the court. So they had always a check. So check here means to see whether the king is doing his duty properly or not. So they had had such a role to check the royal authority. So when we go to the policies made by the king administration, so this was the king at the top, and the council of minister worked under the king, the group of minister that you have been studying from very earlier. So that group of minister, the council of minister, is called the Mantri Parishad. It consists, now this council of minister consists of what? So it consists of princes, high officials and feudatories. So among these officials, the first one comes, that is your Kumar Matya. So they were the chief caterer, and he was responsible for selecting other officials. So under the king guideline, Kumar Matya, he got the duty to recruit a good person for the high officers or other kind of official. So he was a person to select them, to recruit them. Second is your Sandhi Vigrahika. This is the Minister of War and Peace. So his main duty was to deal the feudatory, the working officers. He has to see, supervise these other officers whether they are working or not. They also looked for the military and a fiscal and a rural matter. Sometime regarding the military, the economy, fiscal is what your economy, and other rural matter also were seen by this officer, that is a Sandhi Vigrahika. Third is your officer for the land transaction. So these officers, what the duty they got, they had to maintain and record the land. So what land is being used, what tax should be there, so everything has to be maintained here by these particular officers for the land transaction. So regarding sales and other record, so everything was kept under their watch. Now the fourth one is your Solkika. This is the officer connected with the collection of tolls on commodities. As we have the we pay the taxes on various commodities, or when we move from one place to another we pay the toll tax. So this is what the Solkika, he was officer to take the taxes on the toll or other commodities which were being exported to other kingdom or other places. So this was a thing. Now revenues were collected mostly in the kind, so it can be with the commodities to commodities, but some rich peasant, they tried to pay in the cash. This is what regarding your central administration, this is how it was controlled by. When you go to the provincial administration, as Mauryas had a very centralized form of administration, but in the Gupta it was a decentralized form of a rule where the powers had been given to the officers. This is what given here, decentralized form of a rule. Empire was divided into bhuktis controlled by uparikas. So the province was divided into bhuktis, and these bhuktis were called as a uparika, controlled by uparika. The head to control the bhuktis were who? The uparika. They were known as uparika. They were governors appointed by the king guidance. So they were basically the governors to take care of the bhuktis. Now it was further divided into Vishyas, which was also controlled by what? Who was the head here? Vishyapati. Now Vishyapati took over the complete control of the Vishyas. Regarding the affairs of the Vishya, who will take care? Vishyapati. Again Vishyas were divided into the areas where the smaller units, which is not mentioned there, but it was again divided into smaller. So when you will see, this was basically for the central area where the Gupta had a direct control. So the empire was divided into Bhukti divided into Vaishyas, and the Vishyas, and the Vishyas into small units. But other areas, it follows the Desha, Mandal and Bhoga policy. Other area far away, the area where the Gupta doesn't had the direct control, those areas were divided into Desh, Mandal and Bhoga. Okay, now coming to the village administration, it was managed by the village headman. So here everything as in the panchayati that the village is the panchayat take care of. So here there is also the sarpanch and other effective person. So that time the village headmen, they were important there to take care the welfare of the village. Now Vithis, there is also the name Vithis here mentioned about. So they were the local people. So those local people were known as Vithis. They were strong enough with power who participated in the local administration. Since the village people, they know their own problems, so these Vithis people, these local people, they participated in the local administration. Now no land transaction could take place without their consent or approval. So regarding the sale or regarding any kind of a decision for the land cannot be just approved without the permission of these village headmen and the Vithis. Next is your the town administration. Towns were known as a janpadas, which issued their seals and coins. So they have their own system in which they issued their coins and the seals, administered by the committee of 5. So they were the people, they were the committee of 5 members. Then the next is what some towns were also having the parishad in the form of a council of people who worked for. Now head of the town was the Purapala. Here also the local leading men got involved in the town administration. So since these local town people know about the problem and the issues, so these took part in the local administration. These people were generally the union or the guild. Guild, as you, it must be a new word for you, but this means the union. So that is what the union of the artisans or the merchant, the leaders, so they form the guild. This is what here it is mentioned, that in the town these kind of strong people, the union, the wealthy people, among them also the strong powerful people, they were the members here. Now, we get the example of Vaishali, where in Bihar we get the guild of the artisan. There is a we come to know about the two group of people, two guild, that is the Kulika and the merchants called the Shreshthi. So Shreshthi is mentioned as the people belonging to the business class or the merchants. So these are the people who controlled the wealthy class people, the artisans, the guilds of the artisan. The artisans are the people who are deal with the manufacturing of the work. So this is what these people were involved in the town administration. So go through the chapter. Next part we will discuss about the other portion of the chapter, that is your science and education. So read the chapter and try to make the notes as far as possible. Thank you.